All right, it's supposed to snow a bunch tomorrow night, so I got to keep this thing in good working order to keep it pushing snow. So the project right now, I just want to do a little maintenance on this thing, make sure it's in good shape. All right, now while that drains, it's a good idea to keep everything greased. So there's a bunch of grease fittings. All right, this grease fitting's bad here. The grease fitting, I know what happened. I hit a stump when I was plowing and it smashed the head of it. All right, that's taking grease now. All right, one thing that's nice with this big grease pump, what I do is I use it to refill these. So this thing here, I screwed a grease fitting into it. And you take that, pull this out. Now I can refill this with grease. And the whole truck is greased. All right, another thing I want to do is change the fluid in this thing. I was having trouble with it freezing up a few times this year. That really needs to be changed every year. All right, first I'll warm it up to melt any ice out of it. All right, this has an Allen drain right here. All right, so now they get all the fluid out of these cylinders. You just angle the plow both directions. All right, now it's got to refill it. All right, this is just regular ATF that goes in this. And as far as plow pumps goes, these Western ones work great. I almost have never have issues with this, unless it's full of water and it freezes. So one of the most common questions I get asked when they working in this garage is about heat in here. I don't have any heat in this garage, and I like it that way. The problem with heat is, one, it's expensive, and especially when you're heating a big building, and this building's got no insulation in it. But two, the other thing is, when you spend a lot of your time working in a heated garage or a heated building, when you go outside, you're freezing because you're not used to the cold. what I end up doing is when it starts getting cold out in October, you know, I'll just kind of like underdress and just kind of get used to it. And then like I'll try to spend most of my time outside. And that way it's just, I don't know, like if you spend most of your time outside in the cold weather, you just kind of get used to it. And it's really not that bad. Like you don't, like I'm wearing Carhartt overalls, but it's, you know, it's below freezing in here, but you know, that's the way to go, because there's no heat when you're out snowmobiling or out shoveling or out running an excavator or something. right, that looks fine now. All right, this driveway's all done. All right, so this is my first time getting stuck this year. And I'm not stuck because of the snow's deep. You know what happened? I was trying to plow this hill super wide, which it didn't really need it. It was fine. I mean, this is like a trail through the woods. It's not even a surfaced road. And I was pushing these banks back, and then I kind of dropped down in a hole. And it looks like my plow's stuck on top of a log in there. I was shoveling this a little bit by hand, but I'm still stuck. So let me see if I can get this out of here. The shift linkage just came off the transfer case. Levi, I'm trying to get this. I can feel it. All right, it's not plugged in, but I shifted it. I don't know what gear it's in. I want it in 4 low. All right, it's in 4 high at least. That'll help. All right, well, that works. All right, they're gonna have to be good with that. The problem is here, this guy's got like an Airbnb up there, and like these city people come up with 2-wheel drive cars and they don't know how to drive in the snow, and then they get stuck. So, but that's what they're getting. Hey Levi, you ready? I feel like this thing's gonna break in half. I've seen trucks break in half on this before. One time we lifted up a Chevy Colorado on this. The thing was beautiful, and the truck just split right in half. It was an '05, and this was years ago, so the truck was only like 10 years old. All right, the truck's not going to break now. Let's fix that shifter. All right, here's our culprit right here. So this shifter here, which it was just taped on there. That's a terrible design. It's supposed to go right on that thing. All right, let's see if this... I'll just put some of these big zip ties on here. Four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, neutral, 4 low. All right, that's fixed. All right, so last time I was out plowing, I had a little electrical problem where the plow stopped moving. So it ended up being a bad solenoid. Now, things I had with me that were extremely handy to help diagnose the problem, I was able to figure out what the problem was at a customer's house, were a test light and these nice long power leads. All right, so there's the new solenoid down in there. I had that laying around as a spare, and I'm going to carry a new solenoid with me now because they do go bad. All right, so if you find yourself in a situation with a snowplow that won't move and you got to get it off the ground to drive home to get parts, this is how you deal with that. All right, so run the plow into a snow pile, then take this chain and pull it as tight as you can and hook it. All right, and then when you back up, you end up with a snowplow that's off the ground and the truck can be driven somewhere to get repaired.